Ryan Cooper was never one for mirrors. Those big, shiny ones that lined the gym walls seemed to scream everything he wasn't. Strong, confident, comfortable in his own skin. But on that cloudy Monday morning, his heart racing more from nerves than the walk over, he turned the handle of Pulse 24 Gym and stepped inside. It was the third time he'd walked past that place. The first time, he barely glanced. The second, he stopped and pretended to check his phone. By the third, he realized, if he truly wanted to change, not his body, but something deeper, he'd have to go in. As he filled out the forms at the front desk, he heard a woman's voice, gentle, unhurried. "New workout sheet, Amanda?" "For Olivia? Already placed it on treadmill 3, just how she likes it." Ryan looked up. Olivia. He didn't know who she was, but the name stayed with him. Funny how simple names tend to linger when the heart is open and tender. He climbed the stairs a little unsure, not knowing where to begin. That's when he saw her. Her hair was tied back in a loose bun, headphones in, her expression calm, focused. She was running, not to lose weight, not to impress anyone. She ran like someone escaping something, or maybe chasing a version of herself. Olivia Reed wasn't just any girl. She carried that rare, quiet kind of presence. She didn't look around. She didn't try to be seen. It felt like she held a story quietly within her chest. And Ryan, who hadn't come there looking for anyone, suddenly felt something he hadn't in a long time, the desire to come back tomorrow. The treadmill next to hers was free. Ryan hesitated for a moment. He didn't want to seem like the kind of guy who forces closeness. But that's where he stepped up, turned on the machine, and tried to look natural, though his heart was racing faster than speed level 3. He didn't even dare glance sideways. He just listened to the sound of her footsteps, steady, rhythmic. And something about that quiet harmony brought him an unexpected peace. As if, even without words, he wasn't alone anymore. On the third morning, she noticed. "You run well," she said, her voice soft but certain. Ryan nearly stumbled. "You too," he replied, laughing at himself. "I mean, you run like someone who's done this 1,000 times." She smiled. It was the first time he saw that smile. It wasn't wide. It was subtle. Like smiling too much was a luxury she was slowly learning to allow. "I have," she said, 1,000 times, and a few extra escapes. He didn't fully understand what she meant, but he didn't ask. That line stayed with him, tucked away like a quiet mystery. On the fourth morning, she didn't show up. Neither on the fifth. Friday, Ryan ran alone, and somehow the silence felt louder. It wasn't until the following Monday that she returned. She sat on the locker room bench, calmly tying her sneakers. Ryan almost didn't believe it. "Hey," he said, trying to hide the relief in his voice. She looked up, as if weighing the world before choosing to trust it. "I had a tough weekend." Ryan didn't ask what happened. He simply said, "It's good to see you back." She smiled again. And this time, there was a little less defense in that smile. Sometimes, A workout changes the soul more than the body, the trainer's voice cut through the early morning air. Ryan, new workout plan today, huh? He nodded. It was true. But something inside him didn't want change. Because that silent, steady routine felt like the only safe thing he had. Olivia was already there, as always. She ran with her eyes fixed on something no one else could see. When she stopped, she wiped her face with a towel and sat on the stretching mat. Ryan couldn't resist. He walked over, still a little shy, and sat beside her, holding a water bottle between his fingers. "You look better today." She looked at him, surprised by the kindness. "Thanks. I slept, finally." Insomnia and anxiety. Perfect combo. Ryan took a deep breath. "If you want, I can share my sleeping playlist. Some songs actually help. Others just make me overthink more." She smiled, and her eyes, perhaps for the first time, looked a little lighter, as if fewer shadows lived in them that day. "You carry things too, don't you?" He looked away. "Everyone carries stuff. Some of us just bench press it." His answer made Olivia laugh softly, and that sound, gentle, real, was like a rare song you want to hear again. "You know," she said, "sometimes we come to the gym thinking we need to fix the body, but it's really the mind that's asking for help." Ryan didn't say anything. He just stayed there beside her, feeling that maybe, just maybe, his new workout plan wasn't about reps or weights, but about letting someone in. Sometimes, a workout changes the soul more than the body. The trainer's voice cut through the early morning air. "Ryan, new workout plan today, huh?" He nodded. It was true, but something inside him didn't want change, because that silent, steady routine felt like the only safe thing he had. Olivia was already there, as always. She ran with her eyes fixed on something no one else could see. When she stopped, she wiped her face with a towel and sat on the stretching mat. Ryan couldn't resist. He walked over, still a little shy, and sat beside her, holding a water bottle between his fingers. "You look better today." She looked at him, surprised by the kindness. "Thanks. I slept, finally." Insomnia and anxiety. Perfect combo. Ryan took a deep breath. "If you want, I can share my sleeping playlist. Some songs actually help. Others just make me overthink more." She smiled, and her eyes, perhaps for the first time, looked a little lighter, as if fewer shadows lived in them that day. "You carry things too, don't you?" He looked away. "Everyone carries stuff. Some of us just bench press it." His answer made Olivia laugh softly, and that sound, gentle, real, was like a rare song you want to hear again. "You know," she said, "sometimes we come to the gym thinking we need to fix the body, but it's really the mind that's asking for help." Ryan didn't say anything. He just stayed there beside her, feeling that maybe, just maybe, his new workout plan wasn't about reps or weights, but about letting someone in. Some wounds don't show in the mirror, but they change everything we are. The sound of rain tapping against the gym windows that morning was almost therapeutic. The city seemed to slow down. And inside that space of cool lights and heavy breaths, Ryan and Olivia stretched in silence. The kind of silence that feels safe when something has already been shared without needing to be explained. This time, Olivia spoke first. Have you ever felt like the whole world keeps moving, except you? Ryan slowly turned his head. That question sounded like it had been pulled from his own thoughts. Yes, she went on. Last Friday. It was my sister's birthday. She's not here anymore. It's been 2 years. But it still feels like yesterday. Feels like every day. Ryan didn't say anything. He just lowered his eyes. It was as if he understood every word, every pause. She was my best friend, and I left. I lived far away, got too busy. I came back too late. Olivia swallowed hard. Outside, the rain sounded like it was morning. With her, Ryan moved a little closer without rushing. I lost my dad in a motorcycle accident 5 years ago. At first, I pretended I was fine, but my body started speaking for me. The insomnia, the aches, the panic attacks. She looked at him, surprised. You too? He nodded. The gym became my escape. But this, he pointed to his chest, only started to heal when I stopped running alone. For a moment they sat in silence. But it wasn't just silence anymore. It was shared, mutual healing. Olivia smiled, a smile more truthful than any before. Thank you for letting me run beside you. Thank you for staying. The rain had stopped. The sky was still gray, but the air felt lighter, as if the world were holding its breath. Ryan was leaving the gym when he heard Olivia's voice behind him. Do you drink coffee? He smiled from the corner of his lips. Religiously, she lifted a plastic cup with some random logo on it. Then walk with me? It's weak, but it's warm. It was a small invitation, but full of meaning. Ryan accepted without hesitation. They sat on an improvised bench in front of the gym, a wide concrete step where the shy sun was just barely reaching them. She offered him a sip from her own cup. He declined with a wave of his hand, but the gesture lingered between them. Intimate, unspoken. They both chuckled softly at the awkward sweetness of it. I always imagined adulthood would be full of deep conversations in elegant cafes, Olivia said, eyes on the overcast sky. But in the end, it's more about bad coffee and good silences, and having someone to share it with, even if it's just that. A silence settled between them, but this time it was full of presence, of peace, of a kind of connection that didn't need effort. Olivia turned the cup slowly between her fingers, distracted. I think, for the first time in a long time, I'm starting to feel here. Ryan looked at her. Here? She pointed to her chest. Present. With myself. With you. He nodded, feeling a warmth that didn't come from the coffee. I get it. It's like when you find someone who doesn't try to fix you, the pain starts to breathe too. and that's already healing. She leaned her shoulder gently against his arm. Thank you for listening. Thank you for trusting me. Life is made up of moments. Some are light, warmth, and joy. Others, shadow, silence, and pain. Losing something important, facing defeat, or feeling that kind of disappointment that seems to weigh on your chest is part of the human journey. And as painful as it is, it's possible to go through these feelings with care and learning. Allow yourself to feel. First and foremost, it's essential to make space for your emotions. Don't try to run away from sadness, anger, or frustration. They are natural and real. Allow yourself to cry, to vent, or simply to be silent. Every tear and every sigh is a step in the healing process. Acknowledge the loss. Denying what happened only prolongs the suffering. Accepting that something has ended, whether it's a relationship, a dream, or an expectation, is the beginning of finding a new path. This doesn't mean forgetting or giving up on your feelings, but honoring them as part of your story. Look for meaning, not blame. When disappointment hits, the urge to find someone to blame is strong, but blaming yourself or others, often only, causes more pain. Instead, try to look at the situation with curiosity. What can this experience teach me? What strength can I find inside myself? The meaning may lie in growth, resilience, and maturity. Take care of yourself. In these moments, self-compassion is a refuge. Do what soothes you. A warm bath, a walk in nature, listening to music that touches your heart. Eat well, rest, and talk to someone who supports you. You don't have to face everything alone. Redefine your expectations. Sometimes defeat shows us that our original plan needs to change. Reevaluating goals, making room for new dreams, or adjusting the pace of life is not failure. It's wisdom. Life renews itself with every step, and within transformation lies the chance to start over. Embrace hope, even if it's small. When the storm feels endless, find a light. No matter how small, it can be a kind gesture, a good memory, a future plan. Hope is an invisible thread that connects us to the possibility of better days, to the certainty that the pain will pass. In the end, dealing with loss, defeat, and disappointment is a process that honors the timing of each heart. There's no rush to heal. But there is beauty in recognizing that even in pain, we are capable of growing, learning, and slowly finding peace again. Olivia was never the type to write letters. She thought it was cheesy, outdated, until she met Ryan. That night, lying on her side, her head resting on the pillow and the sound of the city muffled by the closed window, she grabbed an old notebook, one she used to keep for shopping lists and recipes she never made. But there, with a simple pen and a full heart, she began to write. Ryan, you may never read this. Maybe I'll never have the courage to give it to you. But I need to write. There's something in you that doesn't shout, doesn't force. It just exists. And it exists in a way that makes me want to exist too. You listen to me, even when I say nothing. You see me even when I look away. With you, my silences feel lighter. Thank you for being calm where everything is noise. With love, Olivia. She finished the letter with her heart racing. She carefully folded the paper, put it in her bag, and sighed. The next morning, they met as usual, sharing that smile reserved only for those recognized by the soul. During the workout, Olivia slipped the paper into the pocket of his jacket, while he stepped away to drink water. No note, no warning. Letter stayed there, between fabric and his chest, waiting for the right moment. And when Ryan found it, already at home, he felt the gentle weight of every word. It wasn't just paper, it was her heart, delivered with the quiet courage of someone who loves slowly but deeply. It was Sunday, the favorite day for silences and pauses. Olivia sent a simple message. Do you want to walk with me today? Nothing fancy, just walk. Ryan didn't hesitate. He replied with a sneaker emoji and a smile. They met at a park, far from the city where almost no one went. A place without signs, without lines, without rush. A place without a name. Nature provided its background soundtrack. Leaves dancing in the wind, a shy stream, and the rustle of footsteps on the grass. Ryan wore a light gray jacket and held a small water bottle. Olivia, with a plaid scarf wrapped twice around her neck, looked at the sky as if it were a book. There was no hurry, no plan. They talked about light things, the smell of coffee, the cold that arrives unannounced, movies that end sadly but comfort you. And amidst these simple topics, something deep was happening. They truly saw each other. They stopped on a wooden bench. Silence again, but not the uncomfortable silence. The good kind. The kind that rests. Olivia took a sheet of paper from her jacket pocket. Did you write this? Ryan asked, almost in a whisper, his eyes fixed on her. She hesitated, then nodded. I just couldn't say it all out loud. Sometimes the voice fails, but the hand writes. Ryan took a deep breath, closed his eyes for a second, as if holding something close to his heart. You didn't have to say anything, but thank you for writing it. They stayed there, side by side, not like two people walking alone, but like two who had discovered their silences matched. And in that nameless place, something was born that still had no name, but it was already love. It was just any Tuesday. The gym was the same. Same background music, same weights, same faces. Except one. Ryan arrived as usual, with his headphones in his pocket and his hair slightly messy. But what he didn't expect was the emptiness. Olivia didn't come. He tried to hide his restlessness, did his usual exercises, stretched, took a deep breath, but it felt like something was out of place. And it wasn't the equipment. On the treadmill, time seemed slower, and every person who walked through the door he looked at instinctively, waiting to see her, waiting for that shy smile and that hi she said like a voice hug, but she didn't show up. When leaving, he sat in his car, stayed still, hands on the wheel, eyes on the fine rain beginning to fall on the glass. He thought about sending a message. Didn't want to seem anxious, but also didn't want to seem indifferent. He typed, deleted, typed again, and finally sent, "I missed you today. Are you okay?" Minutes later, the reply came, short but sincere. "Today, I couldn't get out of bed. But now, with your message, it got a little easier." Ryan closed his eyes, smiled softly. Absence isn't always lack. Sometimes it's just tiredness. And sometimes love is this, noticing the other, even when they're not there. It was night. The city outside was asleep, but Ryan wasn't. He kept thinking about Olivia's message, thinking about what was left unsaid, about what she tried to hide, and what she needed to hear. He grabbed his phone, took a deep breath, and called. On the other end, it took a few rings, then her voice. "Hi." It was a low voice, fragile, almost a whisper. "Hi. Are you feeling better?" he asked, his voice as soft as hers. "I think so." "You called." Silence. But this time, it was a good silence. The kind that exists only between two people who trust each other, who listen even when they say nothing. "I thought about you all day. Every time I looked at the gym door. Every time someone walked by. It was like I'd forgotten how it felt to be there, without you." Olivia didn't answer right away, but Ryan heard her breathing, and slowly, the sound of a shy smile. "I thought about you too. I wanted to go. But my heart felt heavy. I didn't know if I could smile." "It's okay," he said. "We don't always have to smile. Sometimes, just being together is healing." She sighed. Then, with a slightly steadier voice, she asked, "Ryan, do you believe we can find each other, even before we love each other?" He closed his eyes, smiled. "I believe. Because I found you. And since that first day, I already knew." Silence again. But now, full of meaning. "Knew what?" she asked, almost teasing. "That you would change my days, even on the days you don't show up." Silent tears fell on the other end of the line, but they were good tears. Of someone who was seen, someone who was felt. Before they hung up, Olivia said, "I think I'm falling in love with you." "Then it's two of us." They stayed on the line, saying nothing more, just listening to each other breathe, as if love had learned to be sound in the dark. And that night, they slept like that, together, even apart, loving, even in silence, caring with words that hug. And their story, born in the sweat of the gym, nourished by shy smiles, quiet notes, and slow walks, ended there. Or maybe it had only just begun.